Hey, I'm back. This is another old video. This video had actually lasted for like 4 hours, 5 hours. I cut it down into what I thought was 5 minutes, but actually it's about 20, so I might end up cutting it down some more depending on how long I decide to talk. This is actually when I was farming one of these big bosses that drops some pet or something like that at Shindo Life 2, and it took a really long time to fight this man because it's a raid and you can only have up to about 3 people running at a time, and possibly four. And because you could only have oh so many people running, some people weren't really set for like the standards to actually face the raid boss. I for sure was one of them who could not do it, and then in one of the other runs, because I fought this boss like 2 or 3 times, I actually did a bit more than the people who I was playing with, which I knew was a bad thing because I wasn't high enough power level to be doing what it was that I was doing to begin with, right? So, yeah, was this fun? Not at all. I was definitely struggling. I die every like few seconds I got up. I remember at one point, some other times my teammates were actually getting things done, but sometimes I'd have teammates who had like all these extra forms and powers, and they could just like deliver nothing to the table whatsoever. It was super weird to see you in like this super ultimate form, something you'd only see in like the cleanest of animes, and you had nothing to show for it. And something else that I noticed in this case is I keep pressing escape whenever I'm playing, and then I'll come back. So I'm obviously tabbing out of the game. I'm just not entirely sure of what I was doing because when I did kind of skim through the audio some, music was playing. So I don't know if like I was tabbing out to reply to people, or if I was tabbing out to read a guide or play music, or I don't know. I don't know. But this is the, aftermath of all of that. I'll probably end up speeding it up if I don't actually talk as much as I plan to. Um, but yeah, so what you're probably going to see, I'd say, is like another 14, 13, 12 minutes of this, where it's just this guy, we've got him down to almost no health, and yet we still, can't put him down yet. And what's really crazy when you think about it is his health is this low right now, right? And it took about almost 20 minutes to get it from this low to nothing. So imagine how long it took to get from the full health bar to this, right? And I did this twice. I believe it was twice. So it took a very long time, and at one point you can see somebody leaves, and I believe somebody else joins mid-fight. I'm not too sure, and this was something that I was bringing up about Shindo Life when it comes to drops, is that I just absolutely hate the fact that, like, we could all kill this guy, right? We've all chipped in, done damage and whatnot, but if he does drop something, it's going to sit somewhere on the map, and whoever comes near it and runs over it picks it up and actually has it. Not everybody who actually participated. So you have to run with like the same set of people or people from clans or whatnot, so that you personally can run over this item and pick it up. It's kind of like you're farming in like this really big MMO, and instead of it being like a drop rate where everything is shared, everything is just specifically like pinpointed out, which I really do genuinely hate in games, but I mean, I can somewhat understand why it's working, and yeah. So that was my little mini rant again. I guess bro just want to. Oh, that's my little mini rant again about Shindo Life, but that originally wasn't what I was going to be doing the rest of the video on. So let's get to the randomness that I planned on covering. So what it was that I wanted to cover was, I suppose, a good bit of things. Today I've uploaded like three, no, four. I think this will be 4 or 5 videos to my YouTube channel thus far. They are fairly short. One's like 10 minutes. One's like, I don't know, like 7 seconds. One's probably like 3 minutes, and then this one's gonna be over 5 minutes from what I can tell so far. And it's really just quantity over quality. It's nothing like I'm putting a whole bunch of time into editing or special effects or whatever the case may be. I am just like getting my voice out almost as if it were like a podcast or just me talking to talk. And that's sort of how it is in some of the other videos as well. I wanted to, so for one of the videos is actually really short, but it was a really, really long live stream kind of ordeal to begin with. And the reason why it's so short is because my audio was messing up in the video. So I don't really think it was messing up. I think I was talking to somebody. Like at one point, one of my friends and I were playing together, and they ended up leaving to go do something. So I ended up muting my microphone on like Discord as well as OBS, and because of that, I was sending like voice messages, or I ended up getting like a video call or a voice call, or I was just talking to somebody else and didn't want like the excess noise to be picked up through OBS or Discord because A, I don't want to have to cut all that stuff out in case I want to keep the in-game audio, and B, I don't want like whoever else I'm speaking to like hear all of that excess stuff that was going out in the background as well. So I ended up turning my mic off, and unfortunately, I did not turn my mic back on. So for like the remainder of like the 2 to 3 hours in that live stream, it was nothing but my friends talking, and they weren't talking as much as me, right? And because they could hear me, but my own microphone couldn't, it was like, I want to say, large, very, very large chunks of basically dead silence or just background noise going on. And the viewer, you having no idea what's happening because you can't hear me. That background silence, for the most part, was actually me talking and the microphone not picking up my voice. So that is why the video is so much like shorter than what it was, because I had this whole progression from beginning to where I stopped. Because my friend was around level 500, probably up to 700 by the end of the video. I was at level 0 or 1, whatever the starting level was, and I ended, I want to say around 300 to 500 at the end of the video. So we had actually made some pretty good progress, and we were helping one of our other friends level up, and we were farming for special gear, and it was actually fairly fun for a while. Eventually we got burnt out and a little bored, so we ended up playing something else, I believe. But yeah, while it lasted, it was really cool, and that's why the video doesn't have all of that extra stuff in it, is because my mic, and I didn't feel like going through all this editing trying to like get the parts where they were simply talking, because sometimes they would be singing, and like I said, this was over the course of like 4 hours, and I know there were certain times where I was tabbing out, and I just got too lazy to like count and read all the single times I'd tab out, and my game would be at a standstill, so I just started cutting things down to certain points that I was actually watching and listening to, and that's why you have that. Another one, that was the Dragon Ball Z one. Now there was a Grand Peace one, where it was ultimately the same. Very, very long live stream, and I ended up cutting a lot of it out. So it was just sort of somewhat some of the goofy moments, because a lot of it was like real quiet back to forth conversation. And back then my microphone was having a little bit of extra issues, and I don't know if you noticed it, but at one point the person I was playing with, their voice was echoing throughout the video. So naturally, I had to start wiping some of that stuff up and cleaning a lot of that stuff off and just cutting a lot up. So that's 2 videos like together that would have been over the course of 10 hours long that you will only really be able to witness, I want to say, maybe like 7 minutes worth. And so I mean, it's definitely giving me some insight for future videos and how I'll need to record them and what I plan on doing in order to like better get them out and how to handle them. But this is me giving you that heads up to what that was about. There's another video, like I said, it's like 7 seconds long. It was about the whole trading thing, because one of like the Roblox GMs from way back when was trying to trade something with me, and to this day, if you actually go back and look at the numbers, it was up to like 14 million Robux or something like that, like 144 million, something like that. When you transfer it over to real life money, I think it was only like $1,000, maybe a little more. I'm not too sure about that, but obviously I didn't go through with it because I wasn't playing Roblox at the time, and I never like checked back to look at my trades, and I was a kid, so it's whatever. I think I ended up trading my Valkyrie to somebody else like years after that anyway, or somebody hacked my account and stole my Valkyrie. There were things that people stole hacking my account at one point or another, but it's not that big of a deal because the stuff they stole, it was like really goofy for them to steal. But hey, if you wanted some hat that I was never going to wear that I would have traded with you anyway if you had simply asked, so be it. So okay, now that I've gotten that out the way, There is another video. It's of Cyberpunk, and I had what happened was when I was recording it, I had a much higher quality monitor. I had a different kind of setup. I had a lot of stuff running at the time where the game just ran super smooth, looked super smooth, sounded super smooth, and I had a special mod pack that made it so that V was speaking Japanese with, I believe his name is Takamura. I hadn't played the game in a while, but she was actually speaking Japanese with him, and it was a back and forth thing. So the mod pack that I had brought in a mod where there was a female Japanese speaking voice actress who would also join in and help record lines, which I thought was a super cool thing, and I really want to record it because I thought that was super cool. But I think originally when I was recording it, I had no idea that that was gonna happen. I was just trying to get some excess footage down, and this was literal months ago, way before the DLC had even came out. I think way before they were even talking about releasing the DLC. So this could have been sometime last year, for all I know. But uh, what I was gonna do originally was upload that video, no extra nothing, and you could just kind of hear it and see it for yourself, and let it be another one of those videos where people can see the showcase of a mod pack. And I thought that that would be super cool to do. But what ended up happening was I decided to talk about whatever was going on through my personal life or whatever it felt like that I wanted to speak on, and because of that my voice actually clouded over a lot of the actual audio from the game, which, I mean, it happened. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm not super beat up about it. My whole game plan is to buy the DLC and then run the whole game from beginning to end again, and like swap it up into different parts and pieces and upload it to YouTube. So if you need to look at like a walkthrough video, or if you want to see like how the mod pack works and how it plays and any possible bugs or whatever the case may be, well then, hey, there you go. Like I'll have it up on my YouTube channel, and you might just find it by random thanks to the algorithm, or you may never see it at all. And it is what it is, right? But yeah, so that is like the main explanations that I wanted to make about all of that. So altogether, I think from everything I've listed, that was about four to maybe five videos. This could be the fifth video for today that I'm uploading, or it could be the sixth. The rest were fairly short, so I don't really know if you can consider them videos because it's not just me talking and getting my point across or reading something, like how sometimes I'll read like some kind of poem or whatever the case may be. But you know, it's still something that I am putting out. So if you are just seeing this and trying to, figure out what's going on, whatever the case may be, I've got a lot of extra footage that I am trying to get rid of. And because a lot of this stuff usually doesn't have actual audio, or if it does have audio, the audio's kind of busted or buggy or whatever the case may be, I am spending like this footage as background footage so that I can speak over it and get some points across or get some thoughts out and just put things out into the universe, right? So this is what you're experiencing. If I release any more videos today, be wary of that. I have about 6 or 7 videos left out of like the 50 originally that I had recorded, that I all had on its own separate hard drive, that I gave the hard drive away now. So I really have to start clearing up space, and that's what I'm working towards now. So you are experiencing not only the culling slash purging slash cleaning of my hard drive, but you are also getting to see how I squeak videos out in a very short amount of time. Now, on to the stuff that nobody cares about and nobody's asked about. How am I feeling? I'm glad you asked. I could be doing better, but then again, I think anybody and everybody could be doing better. At one point, even if I had everything I ever wanted in the world, I could still be doing better, because I feel like there's not going to be a point where I'm ever just going to be satiated or like content, that state of mind where you're just happy and you don't need anything else or want anything else. I mean, I don't think I'll just ever be like that permanently. I'm always gonna want something different or better or whatever the case may be, and it may not come anytime soon, but hey, you know what, I'm not gonna let it eat at me. I know that there are some things that I am going through personally in my own life that have been kind of like bothering me or eating at me, and I am handling it like in my own right, in my own time, whatever the case may be. So, You don't need to stress about that. I doubt you were stressing about it anyway. Let me stress about it because the more I stress, the more weight I gain. Speaking of which, I'm glad that I'm on that topic. That was an amazing segue. I quit my gym membership to the gym that I was going to originally because the gym that I was going to was about half an hour away, which means that it was an hour drive in total to get there and then to get back. And gas prices have gone up, so driving that far and back just to go to the gym kind of seems ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, I did not want to go to the gym anywhere near where I lived because I did not want to see any of the people that I used to see on a daily basis because people think that you're cool and you're friends with them just because you went to the same school when in reality you like despise being in the same room as that person, right? So why would I want to go sweating focusing on myself and have you come across just to like hit me up? Like, no, that's not going to work, right? So I quit the gym that I was going to originally, but there's a number of reasons why I did so. A, the gym was a bit further away than I was comfortable with. A piece of me feels like I might actually start going back again when I've got a lot more of my life just well put together. But for right now, the gym that I'm going to be dealing with is my own personal whatever at home, you know, walking around my city, working out, punching my bag, and uh, so on and so forth until my body is just sore on like a weekly basis as if I were going to the gym. Um, so the drive, you know, was a big one. Another one was the finances. For some weird reason, if I was late for a payment or whatever the case may be, the gym wouldn't send me like the payments all at once. It would send me one of them, and then it would turn around and send me another payment soon after that, like days after that. You're supposed to get charged monthly. It would send me another payment days after that saying that I was late for something. So I was getting charged for a lot of extra stuff that either A, I shouldn't have been getting charged for, or B, I should have been getting charged for, and they were just charging me at random intervals that didn't make any sense, right? And then C, last but not least, I was only going because the person that I was dating at the time lived near that gym and was also going to that gym, so we would work out together. But that hasn't really been going on for some time, so it became a dead gym. I am aware that there is no footage here. Shut up. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. You'll probably get another video or two. Eat my balls.